Yeah, the whole.
Is it already recording?
Yeah.
Hi, Corbin.
Oh, it's recording.
Oh. How's snow basin?
Butthole.
What he said.
I thought he was attached for a second. I was like, what? See, I like your parents. Thank you. 300 people are coming to the coffee group. Oh, really? No, not yet. The coffee? So I'm going to Minnesota tomorrow. So I invited some friends to, like, school friends to meet at a coffee shop. Yeah. And I was really scared because I hadn't talked to them in forever. And yeah, anyway. And they're all good. So I was scared to invite them, but some are coming. That's good. I don't know if I invited them, but
Oh, okay, let me know.
I invited everyone that I had a number for, and I felt really weird.
All right.
But
Good.
whatever.
As you should.
Kind of hoping they come.
Good, how are you? Oh, I should probably turn in some assignments. I'm not gonna triple cross.
That feels very wrong.
Do it. Do it. Trip. Trip now.
Do it.
Trip on through.
I am the Senate.
That feels wrong.
That does feel wrong.
Wait, are we turning in the error recognition?
Mr. Wood, you still haven't rewatched our videos.
I forgot.
You're so funny.
Remind me. I'm not gonna remember. All right. We're probably about here. Let's look. We're gonna go ahead and do the hard thing for you guys. So take out the paper. I gave you a stack a few days ago. Take out the first one that's called secondary dominance. It's 43. It's 43.
Debatable. But yeah.
No,
It's pretty cool. It's hard to understand.
Okay, there are basically two concepts that you have to understand before we get into this. And I think you all do, but let's just double check. Okay, this is a 5/7 chord in C. And what ought to happen to this chord? Is there anyone in this room who doesn't understand that principle? 5 goes to 1. Why? Because of that. That. Are we good? Okay, that's checkpoint 1. Number 2, diatonic triads. Okay, in C major, in a major key, every triad has a pre-designated quality. And you have them memorized, right? Ready to go. Okay. Basically, right? Okay. So, here's what usually happens. When we're analyzing chords, our job is to look at any chord and relate it back to our key. Look at the thing that's in front of us and say, how does that thing that I see right now relate to the key? Okay? So we look at that and we say, it's a 2 and it's minor. So then I say, okay. So what's this? Like, it's a major 2. No, it's not that. That is not a major 2. But it's a 2 and it's... No! 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 More? Should I do more?
Yeah.
Okay? Wrong! It's not a major 3. There is no such thing. It's not a major 2. It's not a major 3. That would not be a major 6.
What about a minor 4? Or is that something else later?
Don't do that. Okay? But yeah, like, if I start doing any of this, it doesn't just make it a major version of the thing. Well, so then what is it? The short answer is that it isn't this, and you just, it's almost like a weird cop-out. You say, it doesn't belong. It just doesn't belong. This doesn't belong to that. Can we agree on that?
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't belong there.
Does that mean that you're like borrowing it?
So does it belong somewhere else? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That's what we have to figure it out. Well, then what does it belong to?
D. Key of D.
Or G?
That's what we're gonna do, okay? We're not gonna just say, watch, we're not gonna just call this the key of D. They make us do one more step, okay? Okay? This concept is probably the hardest thing we do in this class. Some of you in the next 2 minutes are gonna get it like that. Some of you are gonna say in 2 minutes you get it like that. And then in 2 weeks from now you're gonna go, wait, what? Okay? Start by saying, doesn't belong. What does it belong to? What the world, Bach, and whoever has decided, they've decided that what we need to do is we need to decide in which key could that be a 5. Okay? So, this is called a primary dominant. It's the dominant in the key that we're in. This doesn't belong to that key, but in which key could it be a dominant chord?
G.
Okay? So, it's a secondary key area, and it's the dominant of that key area. Okay? So, here's what we do. This doesn't belong to that. It's going to belong, it's the dominant chord of G. So, the first thing we do is we say, it is a dominant chord, and it's the dominant chord, we say slash, and then on the other side of it, we say what key it's in relative to this key. So, this is the 5 chord in the key of G. Don't go any farther, just stay with me for a sec. This is the 5 in the key of G. Can everyone agree on that?
Yeah.
And G is the 5 in C. So, it's called the 5 of the key of the 5 of C. So, do you know what this is? Key inception, guys. It's keyception. Okay?
He loved it.
Yeah. It's a key within a key.
His favorite day.
Okay? And then a 5, a 5, a 5. 3 levels deep. You have to be so sedated. Did that make sense?
Yeah, but
I'm going to do very many of them. Very many. Okay? And guess what, guys? 7th chords and inversions and grand staff.
no way.
That's where we're going.
That's not today, right?
Okay? So, should we introduce Abby Bergen? I forgot about this.
I don't know what specifically you're going for, but just every
You don't
day.
know?
It's not a corn dog.
It's not a chord line.
Oh!
Okay, so here's what I would do. We would start, and I would say, let's start by saying, what is it not? And what I was trying to say is, it's not a major 3. And I said, what is it not? And Abby said, it's not a corn dog.
But it was with her little accent.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
not a
it's
corn
not
dog.
a corn dog or something. I just thought she had a speech impediment. I had no idea she was from
She's
from
English, yeah.
England or something. Who?
Abby
That's senior
Bergen.
from last year.
It is Duncan's
Oh.
sister's husband's sister.
That's D.
Did she do theater?
Inception.
Yeah,
Did she do theater?
Yes.
yeah. She's very funny.
They were funny, yeah.
So she just said like, it's not a corn dog, and it was like,
Crickets.
I mean, it's not.
Forgot about that.
She is right. It is not a corn dog. Okay? So it is not a major 3 because it doesn't belong. Where does it belong? In which key? So you kind of like set that aside for a second. In which key could that be a 5?
Oh, not.
Yeah. So some of you might want to. I'm going to take the long way around.
Does it have to be the 5 in the key?
It has to be. For now, until we do something different. But that's later. Okay? So I'm making sure I know what I'm looking at. Oh, so this is called an E major triad, right? In which key could that be a 5? A. Okay? So, we say, this is a 5 chord. In which key? So A, we compare A to C, and A to C is what? It wouldn't matter.
It's still 6 no matter what.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 6. Yes?
What? Yeah. Yes. Just as long as C's where you started.
Yeah. You're thinking intervals. You're thinking 6 or 3.
Yeah.
That's not, yeah. Okay? So,
Start at the
key of 6. Now, is 6 major or minor? So it doesn't matter that this is major, because in the key of C, a 6 is going to be minor, so we make it lowercase. Okay?
Cool.
We'll just do a bunch.
Don't change your
Oh, this is-
capitalization or not
this
of
is-
your.
This is making sense, but I'm worried that I'm gonna be the person that's like, oh, this makes sense, and then it doesn't make
Just
sense.
stay with me. We'll keep going. Okay, but I'm going to a new key. No, not a demon.
I heard that there was like a yeah. That's crazy. And we won.
Yeah, well, at that point it was like, all right, if they don't end this soon, it's like, let's just go home. But also, I'm so invested that I can't just go home.
I'd be in the sports, but it's always interesting.
Okay. We start by saying, what is it not? A corn dog and not a major 3. That's not a thing. Okay? And I'm going to keep saying that. It's going to be so annoying. But kids will do it all the time. They'll just be like, major 2. It's not a freaking thing. Okay? So, in which key could a C sharp major chord be a 5?
F sharp.
F sharp. F sharp. So in the key of A, F sharp is what?
6.
Okay. So it is a 5 of 6.
Is that how you say it? 5 or 6?
5 of 6. And it's always 5 on the left side and then going into the borrowed key on the right side. Borrowed key on the right side.
So when you have like the music pages and it just says chords, do they do this on those kinds of pages?
You mean like lead sheets?
Yes,
like
that's
big
what
books?
it's called.
No, because this is classical. This is very classical. And pop and jazz people don't like
Play a
this.
C sharp minor.
They do. They will just leave it at that. They say C sharp minor. This, we haven't really talked about this yet, but this helps you understand chord function and conventional motion. And pop and jazz people don't really care about that. They just want to know the chord. The chord. That's it. That's all they think about. Okay? Okay, let's start expanding. Okay, anyone have any questions before I keep going? Okay, we gotta start getting bigger. Okay, so here's grand staff. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna do the mean one right. No, I'm not gonna do the mean one yet. I'll get to it in a second. There's a mean one, but I'll show you guys. Okay. All right. Find the snowman. Make sure you know what order it's in. What is this chord called?
D major.
Yeah,
D
a little
major
more.
triad.
Yeah, a little more.
D major 7.
D major 7. Well, D down to 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would in pop nomenclature it would be D7. Okay.
For it to be a major 7, the C would have to be C sharp, right?
That's right.
But we're not doing that.
Okay, so it doesn't belong to the key of F because that shouldn't be sharp, okay? In which key could that be a 5? A G, right? So 5 of G, and G in the key of F is what?
2.
Okay, so what do I call this?
5.
5,
7.
7 of 2. All of that stuff matters. 5, 7 of 2.
Oh, so inversions.
Let's do one of those. How would you use a secondary dominant?
Like just, you do 5 to 1, but it's not 5 to 1, it's like the 5 of the 5 to the 5.
Yeah. Let's kind of table that question, because that's like a big discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll definitely talk about it. But like, I guess a very simple answer would be like a half cadence. Trying to think if there's one off the top of my head I can think of.
We do usually, we want it to resolve to the key it's borrowed from. So.
Oh yeah, that's something you're gonna see a lot. Yeah. So, watch, let me just show you a little trick. Okay? Okay, so a student will be looking at this and they can't figure it out, they're bashing their brains in. I'll say, well, why don't you finish the whole thing? I can't figure out. And what key is it? The 5. It usually, this thing usually resolves to that thing. So if you figure out what this thing is, it's a pretty big hint as to what this thing is. Not always, but a good percentage of the time. So a 5 of 6, like guys, in a normal key, 5 usually goes to 1, right? So a 5 of 6 probably is going to go to 6. Is that logical? Okay, so that's something that can be very helpful. Okay?
Okay, so, yeah, because like a 5 of 1, a 5, just normal 5, is kind of like a 5 of 1.
That's right, that's right. That would be like primary dominant. So you could,
That makes
watch,
sense.
watch.
Okay, yeah.
Let me say this, and I hope this doesn't confuse you more. But in a way, you can call this 1, that's also 1. But like, out there. So then, this becomes 5 of 1, out there.
Yeah. 'Cause remember, every 5 chord, the middle is the leading tone, so we want it to lead to where it's ground from.
Good?
Yeah. That makes sense. I really want to hear everything Camden has to say.
How long do you
Okay, ready, let's
Okay.
Go
Because the
ahead.
leading tone is gonna go to.
Yeah, G sharp is going to go to A.
And their leading tone a lot of the time is going to be your, I guess it depends, but.
Okay, we got to start getting a little harder.
Tell me that wasn't hard.
If you guys are feeling okay right now, I really think this is the hardest thing we do. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so.
So if you're feeling okay, then that's a big victory.
Apply to math, apply to math, Grace, you can do this.
I did. I will. Math students, Yep. Do you guys remember completing the square?
Okay, there's a little bit of work you got to do.
Do not remember.
Okay, this is harder because what's the root? But just walk through the steps. Don't get ahead of yourself. Just start by finding the snowman.
It's C, right? It's a C.
Are we in agreement? Let's see if it works. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a C7 chord. Okay, so in which key could a C be the 5? Okay? And F in B flat is what? Okay, so it's a 5. The only complicated thing now is we have to factor in the inversion. So just go back to this chord, and it is still a 5/7 chord, but what inversion are we in?
5, 4, 3.
Root 1, 3, 5. Okay, so 4, 3. 5, 4, 3
D6
of 5. Okay? Raise your hand if it's crystal clear. Raise your hand if it's a little murky. And any long gone? Okay. So let's see. I've given you, can I see your stuff? I've given you a kind of a big 2-part assignment, and we probably should only do the first half. So if you turn this over, you've got 1 through 19, and it's all analysis. Oh, and it's all treble clef. What a good person. Oh. So I think we don't need to go on to writing today. All treble clef. Man, so nice.
I hate that you like congratulating yourself. We're fired.
Okay?
Disgusted.
Make sure you always know what key you're in. You're welcome to start working. Do you want me to do any more on the board? Are you guys ready to go? Okay, go. Here, stop for a sec. Let's just listen a little bit. Listen a little bit, okay? So, here would be, here would be 1 minor 2 to 5. Okay? There would be 1 5 of 5, not minor 2, also not major 2, also corn dog, and then 5. It just feels like it approaches the third chord in a way that makes way more sense, right? Okay? That's the difference. Okay?